Good evening and welcome back to the third matchup between GenericServices as the Shimatara and Brainamp as the Hirozumi Fujiwara in the Goon multiplayer spectacular. Currently, as this is the third match and GenericServices has swept 2-0, there's nothing at stake in this match. It's just a bit of fun, so hopefully the players will break out something a little bit out of the mold, out of the ordinary, and we can see some fun. As you can see, they've turned off key buildings on this map, so there'll be no building shenanigans going on. Personally, I quite like key buildings. I feel they add a bit of structure and flavour to the multiplayer, but obviously as this match doesn't really make any difference in the scheme of things, that's not a problem. And we can see over here, Brainamp has his general and his Onabushi heroine, and that's it. That's all he's got. Well, that's all we can see, anyway. I would hazard a guess there's an army hidden in the trees here, which is always entertaining to keep GenericServices guessing, but we'll see. We'll see. So GenericServices has basically the same army as before, except he's traded his warrior monks for some sword attendants and an extra regiment of mounted Naginata. So pretty much the same that we've seen before, works on a very similar principle, a little bit more ranged killing power, but, you know, nothing too different, really. We're not seeing anything that's particularly out of the ordinary, and Brainamp comes up with a bit of aggressive early skirmishing on these sword attendants. So that's something, I suppose. I'm not really sure what to make of this. It's an unusual sort of a ploy, considering Brainamp's previous matches have been all about mobility and outranging his opponent, which does and doesn't work in Shogun 2, I must admit. Cavalry's more about power at a point and being in the right place at the right time than at outmuscling your opponent. So, we'll see. And with that, they retreat back into the trees. So there's really just a lot of maneuvering happening at the moment. Not an awful lot going on, so let's just get down here and have a bit of a look at the horses, because the graphics are really quite nice in Shogun 2. Just get a nice close look at these Onabushi heroines. Yeah, look at them charge. Look at them charge through. Aren't they great? They're great. I love them. I really do like the character models. And we've got some shots landing on the mounted Naginata. So, oh, yep, horses down. So just getting chased off. But of course, there's the mounted samurai heroes just putting shots in, and whoa! Suddenly we have horses. Horses have happened. All right, so this is looking like it's going to be a traditional third match. Doesn't matter where we have all the cavalry. It really does seem to be all the cavalry, and those mounted Naginata have no chance. So it looks like we've got a mixture of mounted samurai and mounted Naginata, which is unusual for all cavalry. You'd normally go for all mounted Naginata because you really need the punch, and samurai don't quite have that level of punch necessary, but obviously there's no way in hell the mounted Nagis are going to make it, but we'll see how that works out. Mounted Samurai Hero's got a couple of kills already, probably just picked up a couple more then, no, didn't hit anyone. And the battle lines are basically a mess. So Brainamp's just going to withdraw, and one would assume probe for the appropriate spot to attack. You can see that this battle line of GenericServices has great big huge holes on the flank, and really just want to bring forces around, and Brain's got enough forces that he could in fact dispatch several to come round, maybe have 1 or 2 units tie down the Nagis while another one hits the general, or you could throw them all away into the seething mass of Naginata, I suppose. It's one possible option. I don't think they're really getting out of that alive. 10 Onabushi, 10 mounted Naginata left. 17 there, they've been caught, they really won't make it out. Oh, those 10 have been caught again. So there's not going to be any mounted Naginata going on there. They are definitely going to get wiped off the field. Sandwiched. Not a good place for cavalry. So even running them through, we've got 9 there, should expect a shatter shortly. And now it looks like he's got, well, A third of his bodyguard left. 2/3 of the mounted Sam. Full mounted Sam. Nearly full mounted Sam. Nearly full on Ibushi. Against a couple of units of attendants. Sword attendants there. Levy. And mounted samurai hero. So not too much. There's no buildings to take advantage of, and this is one of the reasons why buildings are really in the game, is that it's just very difficult to deal with mass cavalry troops, especially ranged cavalry troops, as they just run around. But this is unusual. He's just run them straight into the sword attendants, which are backed up by the levy, and then they're going to, well, they're gone, basically. Even if he pulls his forces out now, Brainamp's going to lose the vast majority of it. Oh, those Nagi attendants decided they didn't want any of that. With the general charging in, and, well, those Sam are down, those Levy are down. Didn't lose all his forces, but the general is dead. And with the general dead, I don't think these mounted samurai are going to hang around too much longer. What do we got? 17 there, 16 there. 26 there, so nearly 2 units of mounted samurai left, but a couple of good arrow shots. GenericServices generals still in great shape, able to pursue as necessary. The mounted samurai hero is still in great shape and able to pursue as necessary, and indeed is pursuing. And see, this is I guess we're coming in to try to eliminate the mounted samurai hero, and it just really wasn't a particularly good charge. So their stats, I mean, 20 melee attacks, 7 melee defense, they're just remarkably resilient bastards. There is only 4 of them left, 3 now, so they're in real trouble, but there's just not much left. 7, 12, 14, so we're looking at, it went from 1 unit of mounted Sam to, 2 units of mounted Sam to 1 unit of mounted Sam. And I'm just going to assume that the general just keeps on plinking, earning his money. Yep, some more guys are down. So they're just being whittled away, and there's just nothing to do. I mean, situations like this where it's obvious there's nothing to do, you just go for a guts or glory charge, really. I mean, make it interesting. Well, and as I say it, here he is, gunning straight for the center. He's not going to make it to the gooey center that is GenericServices General, but at the same time, it was a good effort. So, an interesting take on the all-cavalry army. I'm not too sure about it, but nevertheless, great battles. Have to say thanks to Brainamp for all of his help in the tournament, and for making something for me to comment on, and something for the thread to watch. GenericServices carries through, and, well, I do hope Brainamp still follows the thread, because there's a little something coming up for the people that have got knocked out first, and I don't really want to spoil it early, so let's just say I think you'll all enjoy it. Thanks for watching, everyone.